It is 11 minutes away from 8, breakfast on a Monday morning. The train services in our cities have been dubbed third world by many passengers because it seems there are always delays or breakdowns.
Commuters into Wellington have been especially hard hit in recent months. So we sent reporter Matt McLean on a mission to see whether things have improved.
Trains cancelled, trains delayed.
Stopping at stations, not going the full distance.
The train not arriving when you're expecting it to be here.
Commuters voicing their frustration over the reliability of rail services. They're fed up after a series of mishaps on the Wellington lines. You'll remember some of them. Last month, 12,000 passengers were stranded after a bungling contractor put in an overhead structure ahead of time. Then the Hutt Upper Line was closed after a derailment, and only a week after that, a signal fault and a train breakdown led to more than 100 services being cancelled. And according to the passengers we spoke to, those are only the major disruptions. They say we don't hear about the daily problems they face. So here's the deal: one handycam, 2 train journeys at 2 different times of the day. We're wanting to find out a few things, like whether delays are commonplace on Wellington trains and how the passengers feel about rail commuting. So I've just bought my ticket into Wellington train station. It is now 7:27 a.m. and I've been told that the next train to Wellington comes in a minute. Here's hoping it's on time. Sitting on the train on the way into the Wellington station. It's 7:32. The train was a few minutes late, but I've been told that's half of the course. But so far, no major dramas this morning on my Wellington train journey. But when I spoke to morning commuters, a different story altogether.
The trains haven't been turning up on time, or we've had to wait half an hour, or our train gets cancelled on the way home.
I find there's far too many delays. I get angry with it.
When you've got meetings to go to and stuff, and you completely miss them, and you're late and have to walk in and look like the slacker.
Well, sometimes you're packed in like sardines, and then they try to get more people in when they're busy, and the heaters haven't been working.
So what about an evening commute? Now, my train was 3 minutes late leaving the platform, which isn't a major. What was actually more frustrating was the 5-minute wait to even get my ticket. And then when I got to the front of the line, the woman couldn't even tell me which platform my train left from. At peak hour time like it is right now, I can assume that with a 5-minute wait, there would be a lot of people who would miss their train altogether. But again, angry passengers.
Heater's not working in trains, doors not working, carriages broken windows.
Oh, incredibly frustrating. I've been late to pick my daughter up from school because it stopped 3 stations early from my station and things like that.
But I think more recently there have been more problems, and my expectation now is that it won't be here on time.
So, although my journey was relatively smooth, I've been told that's the exception rather than the rule. Many passengers telling me if things don't get sorted soon, they'll be looking at other forms of transport.
So some pretty grumpy commuters there. What is Kiwi Rail's response? For that, we're joined by Ross Hayward, General Manager of Passenger Services. Good morning, Ross. This is just plain embarrassing, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's certainly not the history of Metro and Wellington. We normally have a very good record of around about 92% on-time performance. That's fallen dramatically over the last few months down to around about 83%, which is utterly unacceptable.
Why?
Well, it's a few things. The first thing is that we have a very tight timetable, and that's to meet demand. Secondly,
so demand has risen and you're not able to meet it, basically?
We're not able to meet it. We have the same rolling stock. We have 98% of our carriages in service at any one time. Thirdly, the rolling stock is very old. The last time it hasn't had an overhaul in 26 years. And I guess the most important is we have major projects underway to upgrade the system, and they're having a severe impact on our business at the moment.
Right, so it's the upgrade that's causing most of the delays, is that?
A fair proportion of them, yes.
OK. What about overcrowding, poor communication, broken heaters? It's a shambles, isn't it, at the moment?
Well, no, it's not a shambles. The heaters are currently working between 95 and 100% of the time, and we've had a number of weeks at 100. We've largely resolved that particular issue. That, again, is a function of the old rolling stock, and it's equipment that needs to be refurbished. It needs to be refurbished now, and that's what we're waiting for.
Does it need to be refurbished, Ross, or replaced? Tell us what you're doing to fix the problem.
I believe refurbishment will fix it. It's about a third of the cost of replacement. It's the most effective way to go.
And when are we going to see the entire system improve?
I would say around about 2 years. Now, the problem with that is we haven't got a short-term problem. We've got a long-term problem we have to deal with. So we don't have the option of sitting back and doing nothing. We have to look at improving communications, and we've embarked on that already with improved on-train communications, electronic displays, a revised sound system in Wellington is being developed, and a new website's coming online in September. And hopefully this will improve communications. At the end of the day, passengers have two things they want. They want on-time trains and they want to know what's going on. That's their two top requirements.
All right, Ross Hayward, thank you for coming on to explain that this morning. And that's depressing, isn't it, Wellington? 2 years.
2 short years.
2 short years.
2 short years. It's 5.
You're going to have to put up with it.